First introduced in the Series 3 episode Blink, the Weeping Angels took to scaring a nation of both children, teens and adults to the core. But what is it that makes these creatures so scary? How did these time-defying angels come to the mind of Moffat, and could the future hold an even scarier return for the monsters? Well, sit back, relax and enjoy the story of what makes the Weeping Angels so truly terrifying. The Weeping Angels' quantum locking mechanism is a chilling and innovative concept that underscores their terrifying nature. Their ability to transform into stone statues when observed taps into the primal human fears of the unknown and vulnerability. The speed at which this transformation occurs is truly unsettling, as it highlights the danger of the slightest lapse in attention. This fear of blinking or looking away is something that resonates with viewers, as it mirrors our innate instinct to protect ourselves from potential threats, and of course our natural instincts to blink. Let me guess, you're probably thinking about blinking now, and are instead doing it on manual. Well, now try not to blink, and you'll find the only thing running through your head is to do just that. Oh, and maybe the idea to subscribe to my channel and help me follow my dreams of becoming a full-time YouTuber, but that's just a guess. Furthermore, the quantum locking ability makes the Angels exceptionally formidable adversaries. It essentially renders them immune to direct confrontation, as traditional weapons or confrontational strategies are ineffective against them. This forces the Doctor and their companions, as well as the audience, into a constant state of vigilance and tension, as they must maintain unbroken eye contact to keep the Angels at bay. This unique dynamic elevates the suspense and sense of danger in episodes featuring these creatures, making them some of the most memorable and iconic villains in Doctor Who. The idea that a seemingly innocuous state can harbour such a deadly threat adds a layer of psychological horror to their encounters, as the audience is left with a lingering fear of the ordinary and the unseen. Furthermore, the unpredictability of the Weeping Angels is a key element that contributes to their inherent terror. Their ability to disguise themselves as ordinary stone statues means they can lurk unnoticed in the most innocuous settings, blending seamlessly into the environment. This unpredictability instills a sense of unease in both the characters and the audience, as it underscores the idea that danger can manifest in the most unexpected places. The juxtaposition of the angelic appearance with their malevolent intent creates a stark contrast that heightens the shock factor when their true nature is eventually revealed. I remember as a kid I'd always be on edge whenever I was around a statue, especially one that resembled an angel, and I'm sure because of them and their debut episode, so were you. Oh well, don't worry, we're coming to Blink. Walking past a Weeping Angel without realising it is a scenario that taps into the primal fears of vulnerability and helplessness. The audience is forced to reconsider their perception of a seemingly benign world around them, as any statue could potentially be a life-distorting threat. This psychological aspect of the Angels' unpredictability is what makes them truly memorable antagonists. It also adds an element of paranoia and suspense to their episodes, as characters must constantly question the safety of their surroundings and remain hypervigilant to avoid becoming victims of these insidious creatures. The element of surprise combined with their unique abilities makes the Weeping Angels a genuinely unsettling presence in the series, and in the real world as a kid walking home on those dark December nights. The concept of being sent back in time by the Weeping Angels is indeed a deeply unsettling and horrifying idea. In many ways it can be seen as a fate worse than death. When a person is transported into the past by these creatures, they are effectively robbed of their entire future. This loss of future possibilities and experiences is a terrifying prospect because it represents the negation of one's existence as they knew it. Victims are condemned to live out their lives in a time period far removed from the people and places they once knew, forever cut off from their loved ones and the world that they belong to. This idea taps into fundamental human fears. Death, while naturally feared, is often seen as a part of the natural order of life. It's an eventuality that, although uncertain, is expected at some point. However, the prospect of being sent back in time confronts individuals with a fate that goes beyond the boundaries of a normal human experience. It is a kind of temporal erasure, where one's identity, relationships and memories are rendered obsolete, and they become strangers in a distant era. This sense of dislocation and isolation is profoundly unsettling, as it cuts to the core of our attachments to the present and the people we hold dear. In the episode Blink, this terrifying concept is brilliantly explored. The story introduces Sally Sparrow, who stumbles upon messages from the Doctor hidden in old DVDs and walls. These messages are a desperate warning about the Weeping Angels. As the episode unfolds, Sari and her friend Larry encounter the Angels and find themselves trapped in a race against time to stop the Angels from sending them back to the past. This episode brilliantly captures the horror of the Weeping Angels' abilities, as characters are gradually sent back in time, separated from their loved ones, and left to face an uncertain fate in the past. Blink is a masterclass in using the Weeping Angels to create suspense and fear. It underscores the idea that the threat posed by these creatures extends beyond physical harm. It's about the loss of everything one holds close in the present, and the dreadful prospect of an existence adrift in the chapters of history. The episode's exploration of the emotional toll on its characters makes the Weeping Angels one of the most unforgettable foes from just their debut story. The Weeping Angels are also masters of psychological horror, and this is a significant reason for their effectiveness as antagonists in the Whoniverse. They exploit some of the deepest and most primal fears that humans harbour. One of their tactics is to prey on the fear of the dark. They often lurk in shadowy or dimly lit places, using the uncertainty of darkness to their advantage. This plays on the inherent fear many people have of the unknown that the darkness conceals. The mere idea that an angel could be lurking in the shadows, waiting for the right moment to strike, creates a constant sense of unease and dread. The fear of being alone is another psychological aspect that the Weeping Angels exploit. They often isolate their victims, separating them from their companions or allies, leaving them vulnerable and defenseless. This fear of isolation taps into the basic human need for social connection and safety in numbers. When characters in the show find themselves alone and pursued by the Angels, it intensifies the psychological horror as they must confront their deepest fears without the support of others. Additionally, the Weeping Angels' ability to communicate silently is an eerie and unsettling element of their encounters. Their silent coordination creates an atmosphere of foreboding, as the audience, along with the Doctor and their companions, struggles to understand the motives and intentions of these enigmatic creatures. The absence of traditional spoken communication adds to their mystique and makes them even more inscrutable and formidable. It leaves characters in a constant state of uncertainty, unsure of how to predict or counter the Angels' actions, which adds to the overall tension and fear that they generate. The fact the Weeping Angels don't engage in physical combat is a distinctive aspect of their character and contributes to their terrifying nature. In a genre where many villains rely on physical strength, advanced weaponry or superhuman abilities to pose a threat, the Angels stand out by utilising their unique quantum locking ability and cunning instead. This lack of physical confrontation adds an element of helplessness for the Doctor and their companions, because traditional means of defence or attack are rendered ineffective. The Angels seem invulnerable, as no conventional weapon can harm them, and they can outmaneuver their prey effortlessly. This unique approach to antagonism forces the characters and the audience to confront the limitations of their usual methods, leading to more creative solutions in stories. The Weeping Angels are often featured in such stories with high stakes and dire consequences, which amplifies the tension and fear surrounding their appearances. The very concept of being sent back in time by the Angels carries enormous weight, as it means potentially losing everything one knows and loves in the present. These creatures are not mere one-off monsters, but often play pivotal roles in the broader narrative arcs of Doctor Who. The danger they pose feels palpable and real, and the emotional stakes are high, as characters are forced to make difficult choices to survive and protect their loved ones. This combination of existential threat and emotional depth makes the Weeping Angels one of the most memorable and formidable adversaries in this series. We can see the impact just a single confrontation lead to, with Amy Pond dealing with a deep-rooted fear of them for the rest of her life. Furthermore, the Angels are one of only a few monsters to take something of worth from the Doctor, such as the life of his companions.
Goodbye.
While past returns have been known to slightly subtract from the titular time-based foes, Series 13 showed us the untapped potential of these creatures, and how new stories can still feature the Angels in a leading way and be a success. The potential return and reimagining of the Angels in RCD2 could offer exciting opportunities to expand upon the lore and the mythology of these iconic creatures. A fresh storyline could delve more into their origins, motivations, or even their evolution as a species. This would provide a deeper understanding of what drives them to feed on temporal energy and why they have chosen this unique existence. It would take a stellar writer to pull this off correctly. Expanding the Weeping Angels' presence into spin-off media such as novels, audio dramas, or comic books would allow for a more in-depth exploration of their character and abilities. This extended universe would give writers and creators the freedom to craft unique and immersive stories that further enrich the lore of the Angels and provide fans with a broader range of experiences with these creatures. Imagine an Angel story with the 12th Doctor or even the 9th. Introducing new abilities, vulnerabilities, or limitations to the Weeping Angels could also breathe new life into their characters, as did Doctor Who Flux. These twists could keep them challenging and unpredictable for the Doctor, ensuring that their encounters remain suspenseful and captivating on every new watch. Lastly, a companion-centric storyline focusing on the Weeping Angels targeting one of the Doctor's companions would be emotionally charged and impactful. It would allow for a deep exploration of the personal consequences and emotional toll of encountering these creatures, adding layers of drama and character development to the series. Who knows, maybe this is why the Doctor and Ruby Sunday are seemingly separated in the upcoming Christmas specials. In conclusion, the Weeping Angels stand as one of the most terrifying and enduring creations in the Doctor Who universe. Their unique abilities to manipulate time, play on psychological fears, and evoke a sense of dread have cemented their status as iconic adversaries. While they have already left an indelible mark on the show's history, the Weeping Angels also possess the potential for a bright future under the guidance of the right writer. With their rich mythology and enigmatic nature, there are boundless opportunities to explore their origins, motivations, and interactions with other characters and even species. As long as Doctor Who continues to evolve and reinvent itself, the Weeping Angels remain a formidable and captivating force, capable of both terrifying and enthralling audiences in the years to come. For more videos like this, please subscribe. Like I said, it is a dream, so please subscribe.